Oh shit. That's a wild one. That's the one that plays at night. You know, those nighttime VR missions when you get into an alert. I really like those missions. I think they might be the ones that are exclusive to first person as well. It has a real vibe when you're doing those missions in alert mode, trying to figure out what you're supposed to do. Oh, let's see. How's the ear? It's getting better, I think. I can definitely hear more, which is good. I still have the constant ringing, which isn't good, but from what I've read, it can take weeks to heal. Like 6 to 8 weeks in some cases. So, you know, I shouldn't be expecting it all to heal up straight away. But I think in most cases, as long as it's not like really bad, it should just take a couple of weeks. But I still need to see a doctor. I'm getting a call on Thursday. And then hopefully I'll be able to make an appointment then. But yeah, we'll see what happens. It's better than it was before anyway. Did we get the story of how it was punctured, or is that staying secret? Oh yeah, no, I was just pulling at it with my little finger. And that's really how it happened. My ear was just feeling uncomfortable. I did it when I woke up in the middle of the night. I just woke up and my ear was feeling a little bit uncomfortable, but like nothing unusual, you know? My ear was just feeling a bit clogged or something. And I went to pick at it with my little finger, and I kind of pulled at my ear canal. And then I just got this really sharp pain all of a sudden. And that's when I think I tore it. And after a minute or so, that pain started to ease up. You know, that initial sharp, extreme pain, that cleared up after like a minute. But then I was left with just like a muffled ear, where I just, where it felt like my ear was like completely blocked. And that's how it happened. I don't think I had the tinnitus initially. I don't think so anyway. Maybe I did and I just didn't recognize it. But I think the tinnitus only kicked in after another day or so. But I think even now, well, I don't know if it has gotten any better. But at least my hearing has gotten better. I can hear a lot more out of this ear now, at the very least. Yeah, like I don't feel any pain, which is nice. The only time I ever felt pain was when I tore it initially. Like I don't feel any pain. It's just the ringing in my ear and some hearing loss. Like my right ear can't hear as well as my left ear, but even that has gotten a bit better over the last few days. So yeah, just hoping it all fully heals and the tinnitus ceases as well, because it certainly won't be nice if I have to live with this constant ringing in my ears. But yeah, it seems like the odds are in my favor anyway, based off what I've looked up. I think oftentimes when tinnitus is like a constant thing, it's more of like a gradual thing that causes that. You know, like if you're constantly exposing yourself to really loud music, like going to concerts and without protecting your ears, shit like that can build up and that can cause eventually cause like a constant case of it. But I think in most cases that are similar to mine, like where you puncture it by poking at it or pulling at it, I think in most of those cases it will fully heal. Hopefully, anyway. Do you have tinnitus, Dave? Yeah, I used my headphones a lot as of like over the last year or so. But I don't think I ever turn it up all that loud. You definitely hear some degree of ringing at all times. Really, Dave? I think almost everyone in our generation does. You can't avoid it. Like, everyone gets it at some point. Like a constant ringing. I think it can be like fairly likely when you get older. I don't think most people... I think if you're aged between 20 and 40, I don't think it's all that likely that you have constant tinnitus. That's interesting though to hear that a lot of you have it to some degree. Wow, Cherry, you blew your hearing out at the shooting range and it took well over a year for the tinnitus to go away. But it eventually did go away. Cool. Well, that's I bet that was a relief when you woke up that day and all of a sudden it was gone. Yeah, well, hopefully my hearing will come back completely anyway. It seems it's gotten better over the last couple of days, at least. It's still not up to 100% volume, but I'd say it's at like 70%. Whereas that, you know, before it felt like it was at like 30 or 40% when I was streaming the last time. You know, I sounded so muffled inside my own head. But it's a bit better now. Hey, what's up, big boy? D-Man, you had your ears ringing for 2 months and it did go away. Nice. I hear ringing all the time, yeah. But tinnitus can also be just like a mild ringing as well. Like even if your ears ring only from time to time, that is still known as tinnitus from what I understand. But it sounds awful. It's not. Yeah, it's not too nice. But it's certainly better when now that I can hear a little bit more. It's easier to deal with now. You know, now that I can hear a bit more in my right ear, it's not as distracting as it was, and just not as uncomfortable in general. You know. Venenosa, that sucks. Yeah, I'm sure you do get used to it though, at least. Anyway, enough rambling about fucking tinnitus. Let's play a bit more MGS2. This wallpaper, it still surprises me every time. What a majestic creature Kaz is. Yeah, that was a picture I took in the game just during one of our marathons. Have you ever played MGS2 on PC with V's fix? I don't think so, no. I guess we'll let the intro play, shall we? Yes. Oh, chip bomb, bucka chicka bomb bomb. Someone was asking me there, what was Hater playing on Twitch or streaming on Twitch? I didn't know he was streaming on Twitch. I didn't see anything. Was that was that the thing that I retweeted? Was that the same thing that I retweeted? Where him and Christopher Randolph tried to do the MGS2 handshake. And it was just disastrous. They completely fucked it up. Check out my Twitter if you want to see that. Hater and Christopher Randolph attempted to do the bro handshake and they made a mess of it. Very embarrassing. chicka bomb bomb bakadooch chicka bomb that Hater, where did Hater ban DRK? Oh, he just blocked him on Twitter. Because DRK asked him, why did everyone suck in the Twin Snakes? Yeah, I'm not really surprised he blocked him over that, to be honest. Like, who the fuck is this guy? Why did basically, no, not only why did you suck, why did everyone suck in the Twin Snakes? You know, it was very bluntly put, however it was. Maybe he didn't phrase it like that. However he did phrase it, though, it was very, you know, wasn't mincing words. He wasn't trying to be polite about it. What do we have here? Use the coolant spray to put out fire. Hey, it worked. It'll probably be a short enough stream today, guys, just so you know. But you should expect more frequent streams now, at least, now that I'm feeling a little bit better. Definitely not feeling as shitty as I was before. So, yeah, that's good news. I should be back more frequently now. We'll definitely do Snatcher sometime soon in the coming days. The annual Christmas playthrough of Snatcher. I'm not sure when I'll do that. I might wait a little bit longer, maybe play on the 20th or something. We'll see how it goes. I know wrong game now, but character creation on a few EU servers is now possible. Maybe you want to tune in later to give our rocket a new chance. Yeah, maybe I will. Maybe I will. Can't go back now. Wonder if there's any other reason that they prevented you from going back to Struck D now. Did they need to block the path for some technical reason? You know, it's kind of nasty not letting you go back. Not that you'd really need to go back for anything, but can I set myself on fire here? I can't. Put out the fire with the cardboard box. Not really all that useful in this game. Becomes an incredibly useful mechanic in MGS3 though. You can do the same thing in MGS3 and it can be pretty useful against the Fury. Using the box in general is good in that fight. Cool detail though, you can, if you're on fire, you can put out the fire when you're in a box. But if you're in a box and then you trigger the fire, it just burns the box. Only useful after you've set yourself on fire. Otherwise, you're just setting the box on fire. Which, you know, definitely has some kind of logic to it. Quenching the flames. Is there anything even here on extreme difficulty? I'm gonna die. Ooh, okay. I think they're a bit stricter with that staircase on European Extreme. Oh, look, you even see the ripples down below after the splash. Nice touch. Don't you move faster in the box in 3? Up hills you do, yeah. When you're sprinting normally in MGS3, you'll run slightly slower if you're running up a hill, unless you're in a box. Then you'll just keep running at normal speed if you're in a box. C-Star with the 2 years, thank you. Much appreciated. Let me just check here as well. Gurko with the tier 2 and the 52 months. Thank you very much, man. Cheers. Mantis with the 4, Glassy with the 2 in a row, Creeper with the 13, Kurt Rules with the 18, Drop Data with the 20, Solid Hamza with the 7 and the 2 in a row, Solid Link with the 9. Cheers, everyone. And 1 second. Okay. Elin with the Prime sub as well. Thank you. So we have 2 ways of crossing here. I forgot to do pull-ups with riding in this playthrough. I mean, we could still do it. We could slowly level up by just doing pull-ups, but I think we'll just leave that for this playthrough. We don't have to go super duper in depth every time. Dog Smile is the mystery man from Lost Highway, yeah. So what happens if we try and run across here?
Jack, what's going on? Answer me! Jack? Jack!
What was the vanish point there? W25B? Is that written anywhere here, I wonder? Don't think so. Yeah, let's go for the flip. Ooh! Really left it late there. Favorite Easter egg in this game? Oh, I don't know. It's even hard to call the Easter eggs in this game Easter eggs, you know? Because there's so many of them. The game is just covered in them. It's just like they're like a main feature of the game, really, rather than something that's like a little hidden secret. But what's my favorite like little detail, optional call, or whatever in this game? I don't know. In terms of like comedic Easter eggs, it's hard to beat the one on the tanker when you're changing the projector and the images that appear on the projector. That one's pretty great. The photograph of Jennifer, which the Colonel comments on. You're not joking, are you? All the bathroom calls are great and just very strange, you know, sticking your head in the urinal. It's hard not to think of the ones that we found out about recently as well, like shooting the seagulls, getting attacked by the seagulls. Shit like that. Now we're not even allowed to go back up there. Once you cross, another fire starts here, and it's impossible to put out this fire. Oh, that's an amazing one. Yeah, the recent one with Dolph, if you keep changing between the same zones, that is a really good one, I think. You know, just, you have to admire the idea, you know? What if the player keeps going back and forth between these two areas? What if we have Dolph comment on that and get him to tell the player to hurry up? have his dialogue be coded in that way. Where is that? In the tanker holds. You know when Dolph is giving his speech about Ray to the Marines? If you keep exiting and entering the holds, if you keep going from hold 2 to hold 3, if you keep going back and forth between hold 2 and hold 3, his dialogue will change. And he'll tell you to hurry up, and he'll tell you that you need to. I forget what the dialogue is, but he's like, you need to be confident and move forward. He's talking to the Marines. It's as if he's talking to the Marines, but he's really reacting to what you're doing. Marines must move forward. Yeah, it's a really good one. You have to do it like 10 times. I showed it during this playthrough if you want to go back and see it. It should be there while I'm doing the hold section. Mint with the 22 months. Thank you, Mint. Think there's anything you haven't found yet? I mean, probably. You know, we've made a few new discoveries as of late. Quite a few of them coming from bad humans. One of the craziest story-related things that we found out about recently was Rose's whimper on the mission failed screen. You know, when she's screaming for Jack and then there's that long pause and she goes, she has that last gasp. That isn't her dying. Or rather, that isn't her crying. That's her dying. Because her life is tied to Raiden's success with how her nanomachines are wired, with how they're all hooked up. And I was pretty mind blown when I found out about that. Yeah, it shouldn't be too much of a surprise when you do hear about it, though, because there's something about that gasp that is strangely memorable, you know? And I think it's because you hear that last gasp on every variation of that dialogue, which makes it seem a little bit unnatural, you know? That it's not connected to her just crying. That it's like another thing that's happening, you know? It's like a separate thing that's happening. Because it's kind of strange to hear it on every variation of her cry, you know? That there's this long pause and then a final gasp. But yeah, really cool detail.
This is not a pretty sight.
Hurry up and check the situation.
Amazing that the other guy didn't hear the first shot. This is not a pretty sight. A lot of seagulls here. Can you shoot the birds? You can. And the birds will attack you if you shoot them too many times. We see if we can do it here. I'm not sure if this area is all that great. There's like a random chance of triggering it, and some areas are better than others for triggering it. Let's shoot this guy, see what happens. Oh god, he fell. Okay. Sorry, man. Usually they won't get knocked off the rails. That's weird. So they can get knocked off the rails, and but sometimes they won't. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 17, 18, 19, 20. So now after 20 shots, it can happen. Yeah! He came for me straight away. And again! Double team. Did we have a triple happen one time? I think we got a triple once, didn't we? You know, during that playthrough where I, like, experimented with it for over an hour. Probably, like, 2 hours in total. Yeah, and if you wear the Zone of the Enders box, they won't attack you. Because seagulls are afraid of large eyes, apparently. Some, like, evolutionary defense that they garnered over the years. Okay, I want to get my ammo back, so... We're gonna kill ourselves.
Right. Are you all right? Answer me. Raiden!
Oh, all the way back here? Okay. Hey, Blood with the 53 months. I'm not seeing any raid, but yeah, thank you for the 53 months. Give me that AK suppressor. Let's go for the fast method this time. If you wear the enemy's uniform, it can serve as camouflage, even outside of the Shell 1 core. And that will actually help me here.
It's not a pretty sight.
If I don't want to kill them.
Hurry up and check the situation.
We can just quickly move across in the enemy uniform. And they won't see me. Although maybe they wouldn't even see me here anyway, on extreme difficulty, because their vision isn't as good. I don't know.
Was there a noise just now? Was there a noise just now?
He's rocking out.
Noise just now.
Yeah, do it.
Was there a noise just now?
I think there might have been. What are you gonna do about it? Yeah, they can't come to inspect out here, so they kind of lose their minds a bit.
Was there a noise just now?
All right. Oh! Okay, I've had my fun. Always a scary shot, this. I'm always afraid that I'll fall down, even though I never do.
The enemy has already entered the nuclear launch code. Secure the President before they can confirm and finalize the code input. The President is on the first floor of Shell 2's core.
Like the lava part in MGS1, for some reason I'm always pretty calm shimmying across there. This one feels worse. I think it's because you have to, like, just doing doing the crouch shimmy as well. And I don't know, just that view down below scares me more than the lava. That is a long fall.
No, what? I'm going to go in my pants. Nobody's looking, right?
Am I afraid of heights? I don't think so, really. Like maybe a moderate fear, but no, I wouldn't say like I get overwhelmed by heights or anything like that.
Right, my sympathies. Sneaking missions are called wet works for a reason after all.
Don't worry about it, Jack. It's okay.
Rose?
That is, as long as you take a shower the second you get back. Do we have a deal?
HT Zone with the 13 months. Thank you. Rose. Best part about this is the controller vibration, which unfortunately you can't experience in chat. Look at the detail. Look at that glistening piss. Look at the bits of light reflecting on it. I wonder who was responsible for creating this effect. Bad humans, you should know. You know all these details. Who created this effect? I think there's a way you can make him piss forever. Like if you knock on the wall at a certain time. Or maybe if you just keep knocking like that while he pisses.
What was that sound?
I think he'll just piss forever.
What was that sound?
I can only say that Ikuya Nakamura handled the piss vibration. He did all the vibration in the game, didn't he? Ooh, I didn't throw a chaff. That's okay, though. If you try to be clever and come over here to see if you can see his dick while he's pissing, it doesn't work. He stops pissing and he fucks off. That sun looks kind of weird on my screen. If a seagull is right beside a cipher when it explodes, will it hit the seagull? I don't think I've ever seen that. Is that possible? Shoot the cipher! That one was so close. I wonder if there were ever plans to have a big gameplay sequence here before we got to meet the president. You know, like surely at one point we were supposed to go into these struts. I want to go to strut I and J. The power plant. The biochem lab. Tragic. I think you can find some of those rooms at least in the document and stuff, can't you? It's been a while since I looked at all that stuff in the document, but I think you can see a few unfinished areas and things like that there. Yeah, Mr. Man, I've spoken about that before. It's really hard not to wish for something like that in the main game when you're playing VR missions. Because it's such a cool vibe, you know? Going around with your night vision goggles when the power is off.
My father had some unfinished business with him.
Olga, calm yourself. Change the plan because of your personal feelings.
Then screw your plan. I've been waiting for this day for 2 years, and I will send him to the bottom of the ocean, right next to my old man.
The launch comes first.
Damn it. Where's Ocelot?
Not here.
I don't trust him.
Don't talk that way about one of your own.
He's not one of my own. He left my father to die, remember?
Olga, we'll talk later. We need to get started on the final checks for the unit.
All right. I'm headed back there.
The upper connecting bridge to Shell 1 is down.
What about the chopper?
The cam-off is out of action. Take the oil fence from strut L.
I'll tell my men to start pulling out.
Not yet. Their retrieval comes last. The intruder's still at large.
Snake.
What about the other man?
He's got luck on his side, certainly.
He survived that explosion. Listen, Olga, the code confirmation is in 1 hour. Keep the president alive until then.
I know. No one gets in here. Turn the currents on.
Of course. High voltage currents on.
The door stays shut unless the president manages to take out that circuit panel from inside the room. And it's no job for bare hands.
All right. Come back immediately.
One more thing.
What?
We leave for Russia when this business is done. I want half the money for that.
Of course. That was part of the agreement.
We start living for ourselves after this. If there's anyone who wants to stay here, I want you to take good care of them.
Gladly. Gerlukovich soldiers are the cream of the crop.
It's time they went free.
What happened to rebuilding Mother Russia?
The old man is dead. The world is a different place now.
It's your life.
Just as a reminder, I'm going to say this again, one last time. Don't try anything on us.
The feeling is mutual.
I'm in front of the room where they're keeping the president.
Everything all right?
No sign of flooding, but I can't get close to the door. The floor is electrified.
Don't test it. You'll be bacon.
Yeah. Any suggestions?
Remember the Shadow Moses VR training?
Take out the circuit panel?
Right.
But there's no way into the room.
Try ventilation ducts.
Yeah, I think I see one.
Look for a remote control missile launcher. You can guide it through the duct into the room.
Then target the circuit panel. Got it.
Right, but make sure you don't hit the president.
The president is wired with nanomachines. If we know the frequency, I can raise him.
We've tried that repeatedly, but there's no response. It looks like the walls have a built-in radio shield.
So that's why Ames lost contact with him.
If you need to confirm his position, you can log into the node.
Understood.
Locate a remote control missile launcher first.
Okay. Let me just see here. Having headphones on for this is really fucking me up, how it moves between the left and right channel, Ragnar. Yeah, and then you can kind of find the sweet spot as you're moving the microphone in order to hear it in both ears. Move too far one way, you'll only hear it on the right. Move too far another way, you'll only hear it on the left. It's that one close-up of his face that gets me every time. His hair standing up like a cat. What if we wear a cardboard box and try it? Have any magazines? Yeah, it's cool how the magazines react as well. What a wild little detail to add. Oh, it made it to the end. How do grenades react to it? They still go off. What about a book? I triggered the claymore, but it didn't kill me.
Raiden, are you all right? Answer me. Raiden!
Okay. Get some more ammo. Love how this area looks. M4, if you don't pick it up in strut F earlier, it'll be waiting here for you. They're pretty generous when it comes to making sure you pick up these weapons. Same with the RGB6. If you don't pick it up in strut F, we'll be waiting here.
The only way to the president is past this
Get real.
Ryden, Rosemary has completed her search.
Jack, I found data on the briefcase used to unlock the nuclear launch codes. It appears to be a fail-safe system using the president's DNA base order and input of his physiological data as its key. The lock is said to be impenetrable.
In other words, the president himself is the only one who can enter the password.
Right. On top of that, as Ames mentioned before, the password becomes invalid when the president's brainwaves, heartbeat, etc. are not within normal limits.
So the president entered that code by his own free will after all. But why would the US president lend a hand to terrorists?
How should I don't have information like that.
Yeah, I guess you wouldn't.
Also, it seems that the need to reconfirm the code after a set amount of time is true.
Meaning that the president is safe, right? How about the story of the black case also serving as the launch key to a new model of Metal Gear?
That wasn't in the records.
Stories of a new Metal Gear model aside, it is certain that they have finished inputting the code and are trying to launch the nuclear warhead. Meet with the president and ascertain the truth. Hurry. You must meet with him while he's still alive.
We'll try our best to blow up the Prez. In a variety of ways.
Colonel, Pliskin was Snake after all.
According to him.
What?
Listen, Ryden, I'll say it again. He is not in the simulation.
There you go about the simulation again.
Don't put your faith in him. Don't trust him. Do you understand?
The Shell 2 core is where the actual filtration system resides, or at least it used to. Now it's just a shadow of its former self. Here, water mixed with crude oil was filtered using antagonist bacteria in the microbial decomposition of hydrocarbons. Below the first floor basement is a gigantic vat for this purpose. What happened was that this vat broke and flooded the floor. The first floor, which is not flooded, houses the air purification facility that eliminates the stench from the polluted water. Manhattan is right in our backyard here, you know. There's plenty of reason to be cautious.
Very dramatic language to be using about this area. Now it's just a shadow of its former self. That's kind of interesting. Pliskin should have some interesting calls now as well, or Snake as he is now.
Snake, do you know where I can find some remote-controlled missiles?
Remote-controlled missiles? I saw something on B1 in the core of Shell 2. But be careful. Contaminated seawater's broken out of the tanks thanks to that explosion. Most of B1 is probably flooded by now.
Have you ever heard of Outer Heaven?
Outer Heaven?
Yeah. Know anything?
No. What about it?
The terrorist leader mentioned it. Something about being close to reviving Outer Heaven.
Is that right?
Well, do you know anything?
No. But whatever their goal is, they're probably up to no good. We've got to stop them.
Yeah, right.
You know, I thought I heard of Ames somewhere before. DIA would mean we're talking about Nastasha's ex-husband.
Nastasha? Nastasha Romanenko? Isn't she the one who wrote In the Darkness of Shadow Moses?
Yeah, she helped me out during the Shadow Moses incident. She was also actively involved in the philanthropy organization following the incident.
Where is she now?
Your guess is as good as mine, but she's probably still a heavy smoker.
So Iroquois Pliskin was an alias.
Of course.
And the rank of Lieutenant Junior grade?
Made it up.
That's just great. Anyway, I get the Pliskin part, but what about Iroquois?
Iroquois is a Frankified version of the Algonquin word for rattlesnakes. It's what they called their enemies.
Algonquin?
The Algonquin nation. one of the many groups of Native Americans who used to call Manhattan Island their home. The majority of tribes in what's now the state of New York were a part of the Algonquin Nation.
So this was a stronghold of snakes.
By the way, Manhattan means Island of Hills in Algonquin.
I'm not sure how it's actually supposed to be pronounced. What is the proper pronunciation for Iroquois? Iroquois. Cool. Hey, what's up, Storm? Scar Alien, it is a bit better. Hasn't fully healed or anything. I'm still dealing with the constant ringing, but it is a little bit better. It's Van Gogh.
Raiden, the node for that area is inside a small room to the northwest. You'd better log in.
Interesting Snake tells you about the nodes as well.
Put your thermal goggles on and look at the enemy's neck area. You should be able to see if he has dog tags on.
Nothing else about the dog tags?
Raiden, the node for that area.
No doubt.
Okay, let's go get this Nikita. And I guess I'll log in here as well. Why not? Hold on. Let me call Snake. Snake, I can't find the node here. You gotta help me.
Remote-controlled missiles. I saw something on B1.
Exactly.
But where's the node?
Raiden, look at the enemy you knocked out. See the stars revolving over his head?
No.
When the stars disappear, the enemy will regain consciousness. Keep an eye on the spot above their heads. You can use the holes left behind from collapsing floors to your advantage. Tip the bodies of enemies you've taken out into the ocean to hide them.
That's a pretty decent idea.
Raiden, a full life gauge will slow down the consumption of...
I agree.
Oh, nice, Storm. You saw some real-life Kipus? Yeah, I guess they don't tell you where to find the node here because it's so obvious. I was just curious if they did, if there was a call for it. Well, it doesn't seem like it. S2, center, B1. Huh, does it say that in the Shell 1 core as well? Center instead of core?
Colonel, B1 is completely flooded from what I can see.
You'll have to swim through.
I'm fine with swimming.
When you're on the surface, you can swim in corresponding
When you're on
directions
the
using
surface.
the up, down, left, and right movement of the left stick. Push the punch button to dive down from the surface.
Yeah, that's the re-recorded dialogue again.
Stroke the water and move forward by pushing the punch button. Push it in rapid succession to swim faster. Change your heading with the left stick. Up will take you up, down takes you lower, left and right to face those directions. The O2 gauge will appear under your life gauge while you're underwater. The gauge corresponds to the amount of air you can hold from a single deep breath. Once the O2 gauge falls to 0, the life gauge will start to drop. You need to be aware of that.
I told you I was fine with swimming, though, Colonel. Should you get that call? Was it like that in the original? I thought you didn't get the same tutorial if you had already practiced swimming at the start of the game. Like, that line of dialogue changes depending on if you've swam before. You know, when he responded to the Colonel by saying, I'm fine with swimming. If you don't swim at the start of the game, he won't say that. Just wanted to look down here, because I often don't come down here. Pliskin, what do you have to say when I'm underwater? Anything interesting?
It's hard to gauge the layout of the area when it's underwater. You'd better enable the radar. The node for that area is right near the elevator. Make sure you log in.
He does tell you about the node.
The consumption of the O2 gauge will also be slower with a full life gauge. Make good use of those rations.
Just like the grip gauge. Hey, what's up, Ragged Shrew?
Without the balaclava, you won't be able to disguise yourself as an enemy soldier anymore. But aside from the balaclava, you've got the exact same gear as they have, including those boots. Select the enemy field uniform in spots where you have to leave footprints. It'll keep them from spotting your presence.
Cool detail. JNP, yeah, a little bit. How's it going?
When you swing up from hanging, use the momentum to knock someone out. Try it when there's an enemy near the railings.
Ooh, the NVGs, which I usually leave. I remember this section of the game being extremely dark when I played this for the first time. Like the PS2 version of the game on a CRT. Was it like that for you guys as well? I remember being really surprised when I replayed the game. You know, when I went back to revisit the series later on in my late teens or early 20s. When I got to this section, I was like, wow, I remember this being way darker. So I guess that was the intention as well, that it was supposed to be that dark. I'm just wondering, because this is where we get night vision goggles. Whoa, this looks fucked on my screen. Hold on, let's go back and get some air.
You have the remote-controlled missile. Good job. Now head for the first floor of the Shell 2 core. Take out the power source and make contact with the President before the launch code can be reconfirmed. Hurry.
SSJ, thank you for the 51 months. And yes, Sax Payne, I am. Thank you for asking. Here's Raven again. But, yeah, the radar really can be useful if you're playing it on a CRT. Like Snake advised. Footprints? No footprints. Yeah, it seems like the pentazemin thing doesn't work either. Slowing Emma's O2 gauge. Although I would like to test that out a bit more. Maybe on the original game as well. Just because the HD collection can be a little bit weird when it comes to the meters and how they die down and stuff. Like the caution gauges are all over the place. Grenades take forever to go off compared to the original game. So it might be worth testing out some of these things on the original game. Let me try mashing triangle. No, mashing triangle works. Damn. I don't think I knew about that. Yeah, that works. DRK tested the Emma diazepam thing, right? And it didn't seem to make any difference. That shit was in like official guides and stuff, wasn't it? The Emma thing. I wonder did he try that on PS2? I tested this already like 2 years ago. I guess I forgot about it then, Bad Humans. I do forget about certain things. Can we wake this guy up just by knocking? Not enough? Wow. Cool how I actually got his attention before that. Just had to knock again. Oh, does he just chill there?
What was that?
Oh, he has a different animation this time. I wonder, does he go back to fall asleep if you just leave him here? Or will he just stay awake forever now? Relian, what's up? Relian or Resident Evil Lion?
Huh?
Probably not Resident Evil Lion. Okay. Let's see if he can hear this.
What the hell happened? Raiden! Raiden!
I love his scream. Big boy, you found Dolph's dialogue. If you keep going back and forth between the areas, don't stay on the same ground. You're here to complete a mission. Take pride in being a Marine, and remember what that means. Only those who are willing to take risks can achieve victory. That's it. So that's how you kill the Prez. Boo-doo-doo-doo-doo. We do it one more time? Hold on. Can we, by any chance? Oh! I never did it over here. You can do it over here. I never lean up against this wall. Nice. I'm probably going to blow myself up here.
Raiden, what's going on? Raiden! Raiden!
Nice.
Raiden, that duct leads into the room where the president is being held. Guide the remote-controlled missile through that duct into the room and take out that power source.
I feel like I know this terrain. Wasn't it in the VR training?
Nikita weapon mode, level 4. Do you recognize it?
Oh, so that was another rehearsal for this mission.
No, a simulation. Not the same thing as a rehearsal. Leverage the experience from your VR training, Raiden. A perfectly real VR experience is in itself an accomplished result. Have confidence in your abilities.
I love that line for some reason. A perfectly real VR experience is in itself an accomplished result. What are you talking about, Colonel? Oh yeah, he does have some dialogue here if you use the mic, doesn't he?
That's best.
Who's he talking about? Ocelot? Solidus? Probably the ninja. Maybe, if he thinks the ninja is a man at this point. Although no, he thinks the ninja is a woman, right? That's why he gets confused when he grabs Raiden. You're a man? Probably Jim Houseman. Everyone hates him. Is that all he says? I can't remember.
What the hell am I doing here?
There's another line, okay. Jesus, it takes a while to get the lines out of him. Little grunts every now and then. That it?
Damn it.
Oh, another one. Okay, that means we have to stay here for longer. We're staying here until he starts repeating dialogue. Really nothing too interesting, but just in case he says something that I haven't heard before. Kind of a shame that they didn't add anything a little bit more interesting here. I mean, I guess the bastard thing is a little bit interesting. Because it's hard to know who he's really talking about. Does his heart rate change if you knock on the wall? It probably does. Because Emma's does. I guess we can test it. Although I guess Emma feels a little bit more scared in her situation. Okay.
What is that?
Wasn't getting any reading there.
What is that?
Yeah, I'm not sure if it makes a difference to him. Brizzle, thank you for the 13 months. Cheers. Okay. I think we can finally move on here. Let me just kill myself first, though.
What is it?
Raiden, is everything all right? Raiden!
Raiden!
I want to keep that ammo. Although I'm playing on extreme, it doesn't really matter all that much. Just for the vamp fight later on. Hey, something that we never really show off all that often, I think, anyway, on this channel. Not sure if you knew that you could do this. Some of you might not know about this, but if you...
What is that?
keep firing here. Well, I thought if you kept firing here, you'd be able to break it. Jesus, it takes a lot of hits on extreme. I was starting to doubt myself there. Yeah, you can break these and create your own little path, your own shorter path if you're struggling to move through the little maze. That's crazy, though. I don't remember it taking this many hits. So where the fuck am I now? Looks like if you take the bottom path, you have to destroy one of them at least.
What is it? Hey!
Ah!
Raiden, is something wrong? Raiden! Raiden!
Okay. This time, for sure, we're gonna do it properly and go to the next cutscene. What? That didn't wake him up? Jesus. Oof.
What is it? Get away!
Hey, something that might be worth testing now is the microphone again. That would be a really cool detail if he had new dialogue after you destroyed the thing. He probably doesn't, but...
That bastard.
Nah, it's the same.
Raiden, the high-voltage current flowing to the floor in front of the room that the president's being held in has been cut off. Head for the first floor of the Shell 2 core. Hurry! Get in touch with the president before the nuclear launch code is reconfirmed. Once you put a choke...
Get real.
Jack, do you need to save?
That's so cute I can't bear it. Rose.
So, have you decided to talk yet?
Nope.
That's too bad.
Why are you so interested in me all of a sudden?
Because I'm curious. More so than before. Does it really bother you that much?
There must be some things you don't want to say.
Like what?
You know, those things you don't want to say.
Let's see. Things you don't want to say. Like that you've been married before? That you're 80 years old? That you used to be a woman?
Rose.
What exactly is it you won't tell me? Do you think I'd hate you if I knew? Do you really have that little faith in me?
No, it's nothing like that.
Then what is it?
It's...
It really bothers me. The fact that there's a side of you I don't know. Sometimes I just can't help myself.
You've got me right now. Isn't that enough?
No, it's not. I'm sorry. I know I'm being greedy, but it's just not enough.
President Johnson.
Huh? So you're finally here.
You've been expecting me?
Your equipment, that skull suit, isn't exactly standard military issue.
Are you all right, sir?
Is this some kind of sick joke? I thought you came to kill me.
What?
I'm prepared to face the consequences of my betrayal.
What are you... What the...
You're a man? Well, who are you?
Foxhound, sir.
Foxhound? I see. Now things are starting to make a little sense. Switch over to nano-communication so nobody can listen in.
Yes, sir. Do you read me, sir?
Yes.
Mr. President, it's my understanding that the terrorists have managed to input the code sequence necessary for launching a nuclear strike.
That's correct. I punched the sequence in myself.
You're working for them?
If you asked me 2 hours ago, my answer would have been yes. Right now, they're keeping me alive until my vital signs are reconfirmed.
They betrayed you?
I wouldn't quite put it that way. I wanted power. They sought destruction.
But why stoop to terrorism?
I wanted absolute power.
But you're the president. You have power.
No, I'm just a figurehead.
What?
I don't have any control. The real power is in the Patriots' hands.
The Patriots?
The truth behind this country. I'm not surprised you've never heard of them. Very few are aware of their existence, even among those with code word clearance.
Huh?
Politics, the military, the economy, they control it all. They even choose who becomes president. Putting it simply, the Patriots rule this country.
No.
Hard to believe, isn't it? But it's the truth. The space defense, income tax reduction, and national missile defense programs. Every policy that's been credited to me was actually done according to their instructions.
Space defense was initiated by Congress.
That's what the Patriots want the country to believe. It's all a show. Democracy is just a filler for textbooks. Think about it. Do you actually believe that public opinion influences the government?
No.
This country is shaped and controlled as the Patriots see fit. The people are shown what they want to believe. What you call government is actually a well-staged production aimed at satisfying the public.
Huh?
Don't look at me like that. I'm legally sane, you know.
It's not your sanity that worries me.
The Patriots. Even I don't know who the actual members are. Are they financial, political, or military leaders? No one knows who the Patriots really are. Even my instructions come from a cutout. All I've been told is that every key decision is made by a group of 12 men, known as the Wise Men's Committee.
Your office? The White House?
Merely puppets, pawns in a game. By pledging my loyalty, an insignificant son of a senator was awarded the presidency. Of course, that wasn't the only price I had to pay.
What do you mean?
Even if a pawn becomes a queen, it is still just a playing piece. I wanted to leave my own mark in history, but my ambitions were... You'll understand someday. I wished to be a member of the Patriots. I wanted to wield the power of a king instead of being an expendable pawn.
And that justifies acts of terrorism?
Yes. I'd intended to use the new Metal Gear as a bargaining chip.
Bargaining chip?
But I underestimated Solidus. He actually wants to challenge the Patriots, even if it means the destruction of the world.
What are you saying?
Whether you believe it or not, the balance of power rests in the hands of the Patriots. They regulate the country's various interests through controlled presentation, staging a drama that is palatable to the general masses. Can you imagine what would happen if they ceased to function? Picture a massive political vacuum, a space that every powermonger will try to fill for their own greedy ends. I'm talking about an unregulated power struggle, panic, civil war, chaos. Like it or not, the Patriots is an organization that must continue to exist.
So you changed your mind because you wanted to avoid global chaos.
Exactly. When I told Solidus that I wished to prevent disaster, he replied that pawns can never become players.
And who is this Solidus?
My predecessor, George Sears. That was the name the public came to know him by. I knew him by his code name, Solidus Snake. He was the third Snake, preceded by Solid and Liquid, a survivor of the Les Enfants Terribles project. Neither solid nor liquid. He was a well-balanced masterpiece that the Patriots saw fit to entrust with the presidency. However, he fell out of grace with the organization 4 years ago. When acting on his own, he started an incident.
4 years ago? Shadow Moses.
That's right. At the time, the DARPA chief, Donald Anderson, together with certain influential parties, initiated the development of Metal Gear Rex and an advanced nuclear warhead. However, this did not fall in line with the Patriots' plans. What's more, Solidus decided on his own to send his most trusted man, Ocelot, to provoke Liquid Snake, bringing about the said incident. As a result, he succeeded in obtaining Rex and the data on the warhead. But in doing so, he ended up revealing the existence of both Rex and the Genome Army, a blunder that earned him the wrath of the Patriots. Shortly thereafter, Solidus was removed from the presidential office.
I thought he resigned.
That's the story given to the general public. Following his resignation, the Patriots selected me, their new pawn, for the presidency.
But that would mean that the presidential race was...
That was quite a show, wasn't it? It was a well-scripted drama staged by the Patriots for the benefit of the public. Even the Democrats and Republicans were dancing to the Patriots' tune. Everything went according to plan, but for one exception. Following his resignation, Solidus' health was scheduled to fail him, bringing about his untimely death.
Capped?
Correct. But before the Patriots could execute their plot, Solidus went underground with the help of Ocelot. As he avoided pursuit, Solidus gained control of Dead Cell, winning over Colonel Golukovich's outfit. From there, he bided his time, knowing that his opportunity would soon arrive.
What opportunity?
The completion of the new Metal Gear project, an opportunity that would even his odds against the Patriots. By stealing the Patriots' most valued project, he would be able to place them in a very uncomfortable position. It's the only chance he has for survival. Once he has the new Metal Gear, he'll declare war against the Patriots. Needless to say, he must be stopped.
Metal Gear is already operational.
No, not yet. What you saw was Metal Gear Ray, hijacked 2 years ago from the Marines by Ocelot. That was not the new Metal Gear.
Then where's the new Metal Gear?
Right here.
What?
You're standing in it. To be more precise, this entire big shell facility is the new Metal Gear.
What'd you say?
No, I'm quite serious. The upper structure that you've seen is camouflage, designed to represent an offshore cleanup facility. The main structure extends from the foundation all the way down to the ocean floor. The connecting elevator is located on the B2 floor of the Shell 1 core. Arsenal Gear. That's the code name for the new Metal Gear.
Arsenal?
That's right. Arsenal. We're talking about an impregnable fortress carrying a load of over a couple of thousand missiles, including nuclear warheads, all protected by a horde of mass-produced Metal Gear Ray units.
Mass-produced?
The Ray unit was originally designed for the Marines to be used as a countermeasure against the Metal Gear variations throughout the world. The Patriots had Ray redesigned to protect the new Arsenal Gear.
So now anti-Metal Gears are guarding a Metal Gear.
Ironic, isn't it? That's not all. Arsenal Gear has full access to the military's tactical network, giving it the ability to exercise absolute control over our nation's armed forces, not to mention our nuclear armament. In short, Arsenal was created to be the core of our country.
What kind of idiotic weapon?
Weapon? No. You're not seeing the full picture. Arsenal Gear is more than just a military tool. It is a means to preserve the world as it is. It will establish a new form of control. The Patriots will use it to keep their place as the country's true rulers. Right now, they feel pressured and threatened.
By what?
They fear an overabundance of digital information. The world will drown in the coming flood of information, and they along with it. The Arsenal plans include a system to digitally manage the flow of information, making it possible to shape the truth for their own purposes. In short, the Arsenal system is the key to their supremacy.
The key?
Yes. The GW system is the Patriots' trump card. Arsenal Gear will be fully operational when GW is successfully integrated. Once operational, it will be a completely new form of power for the Patriots to wield. I had hoped to seize the project from them, so that I would be in a strong bargaining position.
Bargain for what?
I'd hoped to trade my way into their ranks. The Solidus preferred rebellion. Outer Heaven, his plan to unleash a nuclear blast over the skies of Wall Street to break the Patriots' control over the business community, is also a key factor in his offensive effort.
Outer Heaven?
Listen, there isn't much time. The football served as the key for activating Arsenal Gear. I've already input the necessary code sequence. It won't be long before GW begins to establish connections with other external systems, and Arsenal Gear becomes fully operational. Stop them before that happens. That is your role.
Role?
You've got to find Emma Emmerich. She's the only one who can stop that thing once it's been activated.
Emma Emmerich?
She's the system programmer for Arsenal Gear. I believe she's somewhere on level B1 in the core of this building.
I thought the levels below us were flooded.
I'm sure they won't let her die just yet, as she's the only remaining programmer for this project. According to Ocelot, she was being held in a locker room located in the northwest part of level B1. Cut transmission and get moving. This is card 4. It'll give you access all the way to Emma's location. Give this to her when you find her.
What is it?
A program for disrupting the control functions between GW and Arsenal Gear. Take Emma to the computer room on level B2, Shell 1 core. She'll know how to load the program into the main system.
A virus?
That's right, modeled after Foxdie, a biological weapon designed to selectively eliminate personnel with a specific genetic code.
But why do you have it?
The Patriots had it engineered as a failsafe, and Ocelot forgot to search me. You've got to hurry. That disk is the only way you're going to stop Arsenal. Well, I've told you everything you need to know. There's only one thing that remains to be done. Now, kill me.
What the?
There's no time to argue. The final check for my vital ID will start any second. If you kill me now, you'll at least prevent the nuclear strike. Do it! That's your role! Pull! No! Good!
That's abusing your right to free speech, Mr. President. Or is it ex-president?
The president! Why did you...
Alas, my finger must have slipped. I'll see you around, carrier boy.
Forget him. He did us a favor. Without free will, there is no difference between submission and rebellion. My only real choice is to put an end to this charade. Let me at least have the freedom to end it myself.
What are you...
Find Emma. Stop Arsenal. This is my last order as your commander-in-chief. I'm counting on you.
Colonel, the president is dead.
I see. I'm sorry to hear that.
Where do we go from here?
Your mission was to rescue the president and eliminate the terrorist threat. However, given the recent turn of events, we will honor the president's last directive. You must put a stop to Arsenal Gear once and for all.
Do you actually think there's any truth to his story about this big shell facility being a front for Arsenal Gear?
I don't have the security clearance necessary to verify the facts. However, he was the president. I'm sure he knew what he was talking about.
Aren't you forgetting that he was part of the terrorist plot?
All the more reason why I believe his information is reliable.
Huh?
We're talking about a man who chose to die rather than risk a nuclear holocaust. Thanks to his sacrifice, the Nuclear Launch Authority has shifted to the vice president, effectively eliminating the terrorist threat.
Colonel, when you put it like that, it almost sounds like I should have assassinated the president to eliminate the threat.
That was not my intention. I was trying to point out that there is certainly some credibility to the words of a man who chose death to protect the innocent.
The Colonel has a point, Jack.
What about the information he gave me on the Patriots?
That's a new one on me. I'll see what I can find out. Raiden, we're running out of time. Find Emma. She's supposed to be located on level B1, in the core of that building you're in, right? You've got to find her before Arsenal becomes fully operational.
Hurry, Jack.
It's up to you to make sure that the president didn't sacrifice his life in vain.
Understood. Raiden out.
What's your status, Raiden?
Snake, the president, he's been assassinated.
What?
There was nothing I could do.
What about the nuclear strike code sequence?
He died before his vital ID could be reconfirmed.
Then the enemy's lost their nuclear strike capability.
But that Ocelot guy obviously killed the president on purpose.
Why?
It doesn't make any sense. They had to know that they couldn't launch the nuke if they killed the president.
Maybe there's a way to launch without reconfirming the vital ID.
Or maybe they found a more effective weapon within Arsenal Gear.
You knew about Arsenal Gear?
Yeah.
Why didn't you tell me about it?
You never asked.
Am I correct in assuming you also know that the Big Shell's a front for the project?
You mean, did I know that the Big Shell, a fully functional environmental cleanup facility, was designed to camouflage Arsenal Gear? Yeah, I did. It's exactly what the President and Ames described, a massive cover story. The good news is that it hasn't really done much in terms of cleaning up the environment, so we won't have to worry about any toxic gas being released if we have to blow the house down.
Right. And when did you find out about all of this?
It took a while, but we uncovered the info around the time you took out that mad bomber. There's no doubt that Arsenal Gear is being built here. And it was all set up 2 years ago, on that day. All of it.
2 years ago? What really happened here?
I took these photos 2 years ago.
I know these pictures. They were on the news on several websites. If I remember right, the reporters blamed you for sinking the tanker.
That's right. Otacon, me, we were used.
Oh shit,
We'd
there's
hoped
the
that by going
guy I
public
kicked
with
over the
photos of
rail.
new Metal Gear, we could persuade the government. At least that was the plan at the time.
I've gone through VR training of the tanker mission before.
Yeah? Well, I doubt it accurately simulates the events of that mission. I'd infiltrated the dummy tanker to obtain proof that a Metal Gear was under development. Shortly after I made it aboard, an armed group led by Colonel Gerlukovich raided the ship and gained control.
Olga and Ocelot were among the raiding party.
Yeah, and him.
Who are you talking about?
A man that was supposed to be dead.
Their target was also Metal Gear Ray. But Ocelot eliminated Colonel Gerlukovich and Marine Commander Scott Dolph, and he hijacked Ray.
So he betrayed them?
I don't know what kind of deal was going down. All I remember is what Ocelot said at the time. Something like, "I'm taking it back."
Ocelot then sank the tanker, along with the soldiers of the Marine Corps.
How did you manage to get out?
Otacon managed to have a small boat ready for me.
That was the easy part. The tough part was not getting dragged down with a sinking tanker. A small miracle when you think about it. It turned out that the whole thing was a setup to lure us. Photos of Snake, taken by the Cypher, were released to the public. In turn, we became the world's most wanted environmental terrorists.
It was definitely a move aimed at putting a stop to our anti-Metal Gear activities.
But why did they choose Snake?
Since the Shadow Moses incident, Snake became sort of a hero. I think the Patriots weren't too happy about that.
You knew about the Patriots?
Well, yes, to a certain degree.
It seems like everyone knows about them except me.
They didn't choose Snake to be a hero.
So they decided to do a smear campaign.
I think the Patriots wanted to make an example of him so everybody would think twice before opposing them.
That's it! They set all this up just to nail you guys.
No, there's more to it than that. The Marines' Metal Gear Ray project, headed by Commander Dolph, was carried out in opposition to the Navy's Arsenal Gear project. To be more precise, the Patriots considered Metal Gear Ray to be a thorn in their side. Hence, they attacked the dummy tanker and stole Ray. They followed this up with a perfect plan. They immediately sent a fully loaded tanker to the same location and sank it. Then set up the facility to camouflage the development of Arsenal Gear.
And we fell for it. 2 more puppets in their show.
Colonel Gerlukovich and his daughter Olga?
Both fell victim to Ocelot's plot.
Was Solidus behind all this? He used Ocelot to get hold of Ray, huh?
No, he was underground, keeping a low profile at the time.
Then it must be the Patriots.
If that's the case, what's Ocelot doing alongside Solidus?
Forget it. We're wasting time. We can figure this out later. The nuclear strike's been prevented, but Arsenal still has a massive payload of missiles to deal with.
Right. If the opposition gets control of those missiles.
Raiden, you've got to find Emma.
Wait a second. Isn't Emma Emmerich?
My sister.
What's she doing here?
You got me. She's a computer whiz who specializes in neural AI and ultra-variable volume data analysis using complex logic. How she got involved in weapons development is beyond me.
Whatever her reasons, we need her in order to stop Arsenal.
Raiden, find her.
I'm on my way.
All right, we are back. We're back. I'm probably going to wrap up very shortly. Just so you know, we might do a few extra codec calls here. And next time we'll do a much longer session and we'll finish off the game next time. I'll probably do that tomorrow as well. If not tomorrow, then the day after. We'll do we'll do a longer session to finish the game off. But the Emma sequences and then the big Arsenal gear sequence at the very end. But yeah, there we have a big chunky scene, the big reveal from the president about Arsenal gear. I've always loved that little section of the scene where he reveals what Arsenal gear is. Just the artwork of Arsenal and all of the Metal Gears lined up. Bad Humans posted something interesting the other day on Twitter from the document, from the script in the document. Hold on, I have it here. He posted a big thread of interesting little notes from it. I'd forgotten about this one completely. Yeah, one of the president's lines is the Ray unit was originally designed for the Marines to be used as a countermeasure against the Metal Gear variations throughout the world. The Patriots had Ray redesigned to protect the new Arsenal gear. And then it goes on and a few more lines are said. And Raiden says, so now anti-Metal Gears are guarding a Metal Gear. Ironic, isn't it? The president responds. And in brackets beside that line, it says, actually, Raiden was also redesigned by the Patriots. I thought that was pretty interesting, and I didn't remember reading that before. The game, the script draws a parallel between the redesigned Ray and Raiden being a redesigned human. Pretty interesting. I'll just link the thread for those of you that are interested in the document and just the various notes that you can read on the script. There it is. Loads of interesting little notes in there that you might not know about. There was something else I was gonna say there about that. I can't remember. Fuck. Can I drag the president outside the room? Can I bring him outside? No! I'm sure I tried this before, but... Because someone was asking if there were any calls related to the president. But... because we're in this room and it's jammed, I don't think we can even call people here, can we? Yeah, no response. We can only talk to the president because it's like a local connection that we get with him. We're cut off from everyone in here, even Rose. We can't even save in here. Hey, no problem, Bad Humans. If you're on Twitter, I recommend giving Bad Humans a follow as well, just because he often posts lots of interesting details related to the series, bits of trivia. Bits of research. Let's grab the Stinger ammo for later on. Isn't his blood artificial? Raiden's blood is artificial, yeah. And he didn't seem to know that his blood had been taken from him until the Colonel told him during the mission. What did you do with my own blood? It's been held in cold storage. It will be circulated back into your body once you complete the mission or something like that. I don't think you posted that in that thread, Bad Humans, but I remember there was another interesting note in the script related to something in that scene. When the president says, without free will, there's no difference between submission and rebellion. In brackets beside that line, I think it says, this serves as foreshadowing for this serves to foreshadow the player's relationship with the game at the end or something like that. It's an interesting note beside that line, as if to comment on like the lack of choice that we have by the end of the game when we're being like forced to do these horrible things or just turn off the console. I think that's what it's getting at. It's an interesting line anyway. Interesting little description beside that dialogue in the script. His blood is artificial now, yeah. That's not just something that happens when he becomes a cyborg. It's you can get that call at the very start of the game as well. If you call the Colonel right at the beginning of the plant chapter, it's one of the first things they'll talk about is Raiden's artificial blood. This artificial blood is red, though, yeah. You can't get a happy birthday message for President Johnson, can you? Because he doesn't drop any tags. Does he drop any tags on lower difficulties? That'd be pretty hilarious. If you could get a happy birthday message above his dead face here. Yeah, I really must stream the document again sometime. It is really interesting. Cool just to look through a lot of the artwork as well. Why did they remove his blood and replace it with this blood? I don't know. Maybe this artificial blood can help him on his mission. I think they use that to like explain how his health regenerates in some way, even though Snake has that mechanic as well, which is kind of weird. But I guess it like they say how his artificial blood has been primed with nanomachines. So I guess it's just to give him a boost in performance, you know? Similar to how the nanomachines are supposed to work in MGS1 to help Snake and, you know, to keep all his bodily functions regulated and whatnot. So yeah, I guess it's just to give him an overall boost in performance. But like symbolically speaking, it just makes him feel even more artificial, you know? That's what I take from it mainly. You know? You start the game and his entire personality is changing once his code name gets changed from Snake to Raiden. Then you find out about all these, you know, then you see all these props at the bottom of Strut A, and the bugs have been genetically altered, and Raiden's blood has been removed and been replaced with something that's artificial. You know, it's just all these things that create this atmosphere of unreality, or yeah. Just one of the many things to add to Raiden's flimsy identity, or his lack of identity. It's really funny what they do with his hair. You know, there's that scene later where it's an optional call with Emma where she'll comment on his hair and she's wondering if it's real or not. This is my real hair, okay? Even his hair is coming into question. And then, of course, the extra items that you unlock for Raiden are wigs. So maybe this is just another wig. It's really funny, the secret items you unlock for Raiden, comparing it to Snake. Raiden gets all these like weird, unusual, goofy additions. Like the weird sunglasses, and then the orange wig, the blue wig. While Snake, of course, gets the cool sunglasses. The Dead Cell sunglasses, the Matrix sunglasses. I always thought that scene was interesting as well, when Snake and Otacon are just recapping and explaining to Raiden what's going on, and to the extent that they knew about Arsenal gear. The clips that they show from the trailers always seemed, they always kind of intrigued me, because it felt like they were felt like the game was blurring the lines between the advertisement of the game and the story of the game. You know, Snake and Otacon are talking about how it was all a setup to lure us when they're talking about the tanker incident. That's pretty much what happened in reality as well. They're showing all this footage from the trailers, stuff that we never actually see in the game, Snake using the FAMAS and stuff like that. I don't think the Patriots were too happy. They wanted to make an example out of him before people would think twice about opposing him. There's another note in one of the scripts as well for the game about the anti-Metal Gear dialogue and how it was supposed to how it was supposed to double as a metaphor for Metal Gear-like games that came out after MGS1, like MGS clones. I always wondered if that was the case. You know, like all this talk of anti-Metal Gear technology and stuff. Is this supposed to be like a meta reference to like other video games that released after MGS1? And it turns out, yeah. I always wondered if I was like overanalyzing, wondering about that, but it seems like that is what they were getting at. Which always made me wonder, what games exactly were they talking about? If they were supposed to be commenting on other Metal Gear clones that released after MGS1. I remember I was talking to someone about this on Twitter a while back. Maybe Bad Humans can remember. Like there was some kind of Nintendo game that had a real MGS kind of aesthetic to it. I think games like Siphon Filter, I definitely feel some MGS influence in Siphon Filter. It probably influenced the creation of Splinter Cell in a way as well, but that would have been after MGS2, right? Not really related, but there's an interesting note during the post-credit scene. The Patriots were testing Snake to see if he needs to be eliminated. Oh, interesting. I wish I could remember the name of this Nintendo game. Yeah, I really liked Siphon Filter as a kid. I wonder how it would hold up if I played it now. I'd probably still get some enjoyment out of it. For nostalgia's sake, anyway. I don't think Hitman released until after MGS2. Let's see. It is getting pretty late here. It's past midnight. I did say I was only going to stream for a couple of hours. I was on earlier as well, doing some FF14 stuff. But yeah, next time we'll get to go for a good bit longer, and we'll finish the game off. Win back covert operations. That might have been it, Bad Humans. Yeah. Yeah, I think that was it. You recognize that one, Slammy? You played that back in the day? But, yeah, what Otacon says about Snake, again, just reminds me of what Kojima said about Snake and wanting to have a different character for MGS2. You know, when Otacon has that line, he says, I don't think the Patriots were too happy about that. They wanted to make after Shadow Moses, Snake became a sort of a hero. I don't think the Patriots were too happy about that, and they wanted to make an example out of him before so people would think twice before opposing them. Something like that. The dialogue, maybe I'm not exactly right there, but it's along that lines. I remember Kojima talking about how, Snake, after the release of MGS1, he became this real, like, mascot almost for PlayStation. And I think he was maybe concerned about players getting too caught up with the fantasy of playing as Snake, you know, like getting lost in the power fantasy of it all. That Snake was like too larger than life, and maybe he thought he made MGS1 a bit too cool for its own good or something. Because you know, MGS2 is kind of like the anti-power fantasy. Raiden is the anti-Snake. But yeah, that whole scene has a lot of meta connotations with all the trailer footage and everything. It's just kind of interesting to think about when it comes to what he was trying to get at with all that. I think that has a lot to do with it. Kojima went too deep about, oh, people think Snake is too cool. Damn, man, it's just a video game. People just want to enjoy themselves. Well, that is not what Kojima is making games for. He doesn't want to make just entertainment that you play for the sake of it. He wants you to think about the world and all these ideas and themes that he puts into the games. He doesn't want you to turn your brain off and go, let's just lose ourselves in the power fantasy. My ear is a bit better, Yuto. It still hasn't healed fully or anything, but it's getting better. You know, Raiden's whole character in this game is about him breaking out of his false VR persona and realizing who he really is. You know, that's a lot of what Rose is trying to do over the course of the game, trying to break him out of his fake mission and his fake persona to try and get him to face up to who he really is. That he has a real past and a real life. He's not just this gamer. That his VR self isn't his real self. Let's save then, shall we? And we'll wrap it up there.
Emma's probably being kept in filter chamber number 2 on floor B1 of Shell 2's core.
Jack, is that you?
Okay, everyone's favorite save call. Let's do it. Hold on. Actually, let me just catch up here. Did you get a doctor's appointment? No, I have a doctor's phone call. That's all I'm allowed so far. I have a phone call, and we'll talk about whatever, and then hopefully I can book an appointment with that phone call. But yeah, COVID and everything is fucking things up. Yeah, well, I guess they can't assess an ear over the phone. Like, I don't even think. Yeah, sure. We'll see what happens. Hopefully, I can get a proper appointment next week.
Jack.
What is it?
I've always been alone.
Huh?
I'm so lonely.
Lonely? Rose, we've always...
Not always.
What do you mean?
You've never slept beside me.
What are you talking about?
After we've been together in my room, you stay awake all night, or you head for the door.
Is this really the time to bring this up?
Why, Jack? Why?
Listen, Rose, I'm right in the middle of a mission, and
Why? Why can't you relax when you're with me?
Look, the mission,
Why don't you open up to me?
Rose, I just can't.
All I ever wanted was to share your dreams, to spend a meaningful evening with you. I just wanted to find you by my side when I woke up. Is that asking too much?
It's the night. I'm scared of the night. It's got nothing to do with you.
Scared of the night? What's that supposed to mean?
I can't relax when I'm with someone.
Jack, you wouldn't even let me in your room.
I need privacy. I just can't be bothered.
Bothered?
Wrong word. What I wanted to say was that there are certain things that I have to keep to myself.
Do you remember that time I forced my way into your room? We'd known each other for almost a year, and you blew up. It was the first time you ever raised your hand against me. I was so worried about you.
Look, I'm sorry.
It wasn't your violent nature that scared me. It was your room, your heart.
Stop it.
There wasn't anything in your room. Only a bed and a small desk. It looked like a prison cell.
Rose?
No television set. No family pictures. Not even a poster.
Rose, I only use that room for sleeping.
A lifeless room. Almost like your empty heart.
That's why I tried to keep you out.
I thought I was beginning to understand you. Until I saw that room.
Would you have been happier if I had a picture of you hanging on the wall?
Stop talking about my fucking room!
That's not what I was trying to say.
Enough, Rose. We'll talk about this later. After the mission.
Right. After the mission. I understand.
That's why they watched King Kong a bunch of times that one night. Because he's afraid of the night. Now it's all coming together. Alright, guys. I'm going to leave it there for now. And I'll be back. I'll probably finish this off tomorrow, I would say. And yeah. Thanks for being here. Let me just check my Streamlabs one more time just to see if I have to thank anyone. Last sub I see here is Wicked Guy with the 6 months. Silk Jet with the 5. Pels with the 8. Grizzle with the 13. SSJ with the 51. HT Zone. Blood Sense. And now I'm going way back. Yeah, guys, thanks for watching. And we'll do a longer session next time. Cheers, everyone. Have a good one. Peace.